Juice gang gang, juice gang gang, juice gang gang. Woo! I better save that. Ooh, my goodness. Oh, I better save that. Tacos de Mañana show. Welcome to the show. Tacos de Mañana. Great question, J-Rob. The shirts are direct to print garment. Those are professionally done by the Fourth Wall website. That's the raiseflaves-fourthwall.com. And get your community shirt now available on raiseflaves-fourthwall.com. Whoa, we got a subscriber already? Holy moly. Jessa Diamond hitting me with a subscribe. Thank you so much. They've been subscribed for 5 months. Jessa Diamond, welcome to the show. J-Rob, welcome to the show. Painting Polish, welcome to the show. Tacos de mañana. I'm not going to scream so much today. I'm going to use my radio voice. I've been sick pretty much all of November. So I'm going to take advantage. Ramon was like, get some rest. Relax, you're sick. I'm like, dude, I've been sick all month. So what am I going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to take advantage of my radio voice. Every time I get sick, I get this low, deep radio voice. And since I have this low, deep radio voice, I might as well take advantage and go on twitch.tv/raiseflaves. It's the only thing I can do. I've been sick on and off for the most of this, what we call winter here in Southern California. Not very cold, but very cold for me, being here my whole life. September, when Gordo's was here just before October, September. Yes, that's right. They go in order. September, I was sick, super sick, and when Gordo was here, I missed his pop-up that month. He's got a pop-up today. If you're in Whittier, California, by the way, Whittier High School, 10 o'clock all the way to 4 o'clock with Gordo's Barbecue there at the Whittier Antique thing. He's got one at 10 o'clock today. I'm missing it again because I'm sick, as you hear from my voice. So I was sick in September. I've been pretty much sick all of November, so it's crazy. This cough that's going around that everybody has. Ramon had the COVID. I don't have COVID. I don't believe in COVID. I don't get COVID. For some reason, even when I was sick, even when Mel had the COVID, I think it was in 2021, Mel, on New Year's Eve, by the way, as we were celebrating New Year's Eve, she gets her test results on New Year's Eve. As the 12 o'clock a.m. bell rings, ding, as the ball hits the ball, whatever, boom, 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 in New York, she looks at her phone, gets the results, and she's positive for COVID. 2021, I believe, was the year going into 2021. She's positive. Kayla's positive. I get this crazy fever that's like practically killing me. But every time I've tested, no matter what test, no matter who gives it to me, Kaiser, Presbyterian, home test, no matter what test I take, and I probably had it, but it doesn't show up. And I stick that thing at my Mel says I didn't stick it up. She sticked it all up my nose, up my nose. You can stick it as far as you want at my nose. It's never going to come out positive. So I probably had it, didn't show up. I don't know what it is. Anyway, super sick all September. Stuff going around as usual. We just got to get used to it. It's part of it. It's part of the game here in the wintertime all over the world. That's what happens. Just a diamond in the house. Juice gang. So much exciting stuff happening. Crazy, right? If you follow me on Instagram, you know that we just launched our community t-shirts. They are up on raiseflaves-fourthwall.com. The community t-shirt, I didn't lose my smell. No, I didn't lose taste or smell. Thank God. Wouldn't that be horrible? Raise Flaves losing his sense of smell. If that happened, let me tell you, if that happened, what would happen? I wouldn't be able to get in a bag like this. Tacos de mañana. What's in the bag? What's in the bag this morning? Let's find out. If I lost my smell, I wouldn't be able to get in the bag. Let's find out what's in the bag this morning. Whoa, we have a clue because there's 2 salsas right on top. There you go. Put those aside for a second for the unveiling. What do we got here? Ooh, Tacos de mañana, tacos de mañana, tacos en la mañana, tacos on the show. Today's guest, tacos, ladies and gentlemen. 2 pastor, 1 carnitas. Tacos en la mañana. You thought I was joking. Tacos de mañana. Put your emojis in the chat. Tacos de mañana. You thought I was joking. This is a taco show. Legit tacos. Our guest today, tacos from Burrito Track, legendary Burrito Track number 2 here in Whittier, California. These are legit pastor tacos. Let me get a little, just a little. We got here. When I got the plaque, I lost taste and smell for. When I got the plague, When I got the plague, I lost taste and smell for almost 2 weeks. I lost 10 pounds. Yeah, because, probably, of course, man. Most of what goes into the flavor and the taste is the smell. Your nose works together with your mouth and the flavonoids, and you to enjoy food fully, you have to have those smells. So if you're not enjoying it, you'll not eat so much. I'll give you an example. Mr. Brad Pitt suffers from some sort of genetic disease where he's actually losing his sense of is it smell or his eye? I don't know. This ain't the news. But somebody I know, somebody famous, I don't remember who it was. They lost their sense of smell, and they don't like eating that much. So lost a lot of weight. That's the same thing. Same thing. Crazy thing. Let me if you don't mind, why don't I just, before we get crazy here, let me just get a little. I'm sorry. And this is Tacos de Mañana. If you're just joining us, this is what we do here. I'm sorry. Okay. I haven't had breakfast. This is my breakfast. This is what we do here. I'm sorry. Okay? If you're just joining us, you've never been on the show, Tacos de Mañana. This is part of what's happening. Okay. It's part of just what's happening. It's like normal. Like, you just see tacos in the morning, it's like, what the hell? Well, you see tacos in the morning. Here you go. Baby. Oh my mind. Wow. Holy moly, indeed. These probably the best carnitas in this area. Unless you go all the way downtown, you're not going to get the quality carnitas like these. They've got a nice glaze on them, cooked all the way through. Nice here on the edges. It's great. And with that lemon, put a little lemon on top. It's going to do you right. You definitely want to put lemon on everything. Holy moly. Let's get a little bite of this pastor and see how this is very unique pastor, actually. Very unique pastor. Everybody does their pastor different. That's why when I go to taco places, I always test the pastor. If you do pastor, you're an amazing taco setter. Everybody does asada. That's easy. You just chop it up. You can salt and pepper, blah, blah, blah. Your special ingredients, you can do that. Pastor is an art form. It takes a lot of different work. Everybody has a different sauce. Everybody cooks it differently, whether it's on a trompa or, once you get it off, put it on the plancha. But some of them chop it up really, really tiny. They give you those little tacos. Those are cool. Some of them medium-sized chunks of meat with a lot of flavor. Usually sometimes bits of pineapple as well, you'll find on the streets. This is more of a Burrito Track, offers a different angle to it. It's more of a soupy type sauce, so you get a lot more juice out of it. And the chunks of meat, quite impressive size for a pastor piece. They're, some cut them really long. I don't like that long cut. I hate when they cut the pastor long. I like chunks. I love chunks. Chunks. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Sorry. Oh. Oh. Wow. Oh. Wow. 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 Well, now that we've had breakfast, only one, and our coffee. Holy moly, holy moly. Wow. Yeah, so like I was saying, the community t-shirt is up on raceflaves.fourthwall.com. Those are available. Also, if you don't know, there's a 30% off. Don't tell Ramon. There's a 30% off all month long sale as well on the website. And also, just in time for the holidays, there is a stocking. So if you want to, come out of the closet, if you will, and let your family know that you are affiliated, that you are a Juice Gang member, you just sneak out on Christmas Eve, just kind of sneak in with your new Raise Flaves stocking, put it up on the fireplace. And then when they wake up in the morning, booyah, he's affiliated. What? Juice Gang. The new official Raise Flaves stocking. That's right. A stocking with Raise Flaves on it. And not just any stocking, a Juice Gang for you. It's the gang community, the Juice Gang community. Not dangerous, just thirsty. That's our motto. Juice Gang. You like the stocking, Jesse? That's cool, right? There you go. That's freaking awesome, right? Dude, perfect stocking. Let me know how it comes out. I don't have one yet. I haven't got one yet. Let me know how it's coming out. If you order that, let me put some pictures on the Discord. Let me know how those come out. And there's also the Juice Gang community shirt as well. Those are available. So a lot of things happening for the holidays, getting you guys pumped up for the holiday season. Hopefully your Thanksgiving went really, really well. Hopefully you're getting prepared for our Christmas season as well. I see a lot of tree tents out there, so a lot of people get in the trees. We have the foldable tree, so I think we'll be busting that out either today or tomorrow. The foldable tree, the transformer tree, you put it together, pieces, and then all of a sudden you have a tree. I don't quite understand how it works, but Mel knows how to do that. And they'll take it in. I know how to plug it in. That's as far as I get with that technology. It's awesome. Cool. I wanted to review an article that I thought was really, really cool. BuzzFeed put out an article on how, life in the 80s, before we had all the technology, before we had everything that we have, the cell phones that we have, everything that we have these days, cell phones, internet access, it was a little bit different, to say the least. If you grew up in the 80s, put a fire in the chat. If you were because in 1985, I was exactly 10 years old. So 85, 86, 11, 87, 12. I pretty much grew up in the 80s. We're talking about He-Man here, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Garfield cartoon. We're talking about Thundercats, ho! We're talking about the 80s, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about when E.T. came out, okay? We're talking about bicycles in the sky for the first time ever, thanks to the Universal Studios Walk, Hall of Fame and all that. We're talking Star Wars. We're talking all that. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. What's J-Rob hit it. J-Rob got an item. J-Rob, did you get this? What'd you get, J-Rob? What'd you get? Boom, boom, boom. J-Rob got something on fourth wall. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. J-Rob got something. J-Rob, thank you, J-Rob. J-Rob suited herself up with some fit. Man, there you go. There you go. About Willie, a Juice Gang shirt? Yeah, Willie. Red needs that. Red needs to roll in town and let people know what's up. Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang. Thirsty, not dangerous. Juice Gang Gang. Affiliated. Red's affiliated. Red's affiliated, ladies and gentlemen. Red is now affiliated, okay? Red is now affiliated. Is the stocking filled with tacos? Tacos. The stockings are not filled with tacos. You're going to have to fill those yourself. I'll give you an example of what you could fill them up with. Possibly a pastor, possibly a carnitas. And then your happy face will be able to eat tacos on Christmas. I like tacos on Christmas. So if you happen to be at my house at 6 a.m. on Christmas morning and you want to drop off tacos, you go right ahead. But I'll definitely be unwrapping some tamales, hopefully somewhere. My mother-in-law makes amazing tamales. So I don't care about gifts. I care about unwrapping tamales. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mexican. And Mexican loves to open tamales on Christmas. Bonus, there is a holiday discount right now. Yeah, dude, that's crazy, right? So not only do we have new products, but there is a 30% discount. 30% discount. Crazy. So yeah, so I saw this article. Let me show you guys this article. I'm going to read this article with you guys. I thought it was really cool. About life in the 1980s from someone who lived through it by Mike Spohr. BuzzFeed article. Shout out to BuzzFeed. They got great articles. I ran across this article. I thought it was super cool. Let me know if you guys can't see that. I have it up on the screen. Number one in the 80s, schools in most places could legally discipline students by hitting them, and many did. Can you believe that? I wish that was now. If you see the craziness that's going on in the world, it's because they don't have a paddle like this. Okay? When we were kids, your sister got paddled, J-Rob? What did she do? You had to do something really, really bad to get paddled, I think. It wasn't like they just paddled you, which it was I don't know, because it's relative, right? Now the principal decides whether you're bad enough to get a spanking, right? There's no, it's pretty relative there. It's kind of up to him. He becomes the final say whether you're bad enough to deserve the paddle. This is the paddle that most schools had in inventory through the 80s. I never got hit with this paddle, and I was bad, but I never got hit bad enough to get hit with this paddle. But I remember seeing this in Principal Taylor's office. I think it was Tyler Sorensen School, Whittier, California. Sorensen Christian School. When we moved into town, my mom thought she was putting me in Christian school. Number one, because it said Sorensen Christian School, but it wasn't a Christian school. That just happened to be the guy's name, Christian Sorensen. So she saw the Christian, she saw the paddle. She's like, "Oh, I'm putting him in Christian school." She was a little terrified. A little tear dropped out of her eye when she dropped me off. But it wasn't a Christian school. Very great school. The teachers were amazing. I was a horrible kid, but I learned so much, especially in literature. The English teacher would read C.S. Lewis, Witch in the Wardrobe, the whole thing. I mean, made us read all that stuff like that. Great literary teachers there at that school. But that paddle was there in case anybody got out of hand. I'm sure somebody got it, but I never got it. I was bad, but not that bad. So yeah, J-Rob's sister got that. So J-Rob's sister knows what's up with that. Growing up in California, I never heard of anybody getting it. Yeah, it's like nobody hears, like even he said, never heard of anybody getting hit. Although I was only 10 when the ban was. This guy's probably about my age. This guy Mike Spur that wrote the article, probably about my age. He was about 10. He said, clear remember day when a kid in his class had Sex Pistols scratched on his pencil case, got sent to the headmaster's office for one infraction or the other, and he was paddled. Jesus, man. So yeah, it was rough. In the 80s, you had to respect the teachers. Now they just slap the teacher. Now they'll punch the teacher nowadays, these kids. Now you can yell at the cops. Like, I've seen, now you look on Instagram, kids are yelling at the cops. You're like, what the? Crazy. So we need the paddle back. Bring the paddle back. Number 2, speaking of school, if you needed to write a report, there was no researching it online. You had to get off your butt, not go on Google, not ask ChatGPT. There was a thing, and I don't know if you guys know this. There was this building. And there's probably many of these buildings still out there. I know there's one here in Whittier. There was this thing called the library. And the library held these things. I don't know if you guys have seen them recently. Almost like this. There was pages. They're called books, ladies and gentlemen. I know when I say books, you're thinking like my Kindle. I can bust out my Kindle. You're thinking like Spotify audiobook. You're thinking, yes, like books. Like look at like J-Rob. Thank you, J-Rob. There's an example. You're thinking, you get your app out and the book reads to you. The book talks to you and tells you the book. No. These are actual pages, paper. I love the feel. My garage is full of books. My living room is full of books. My mom's garage is full of some of my books. I love books. I loved reading books. I would hang out at these libraries. I would read books for hours. And if I wanted to find something, here's the challenge. There was no computers in the library at that time. There was the Dewey Decimal System. The Dewey Decimal System had numbers, some number, maybe some letters, and it told you exactly where. See these little cards? There were index cards in these little cabinet things. I mean, you had to fly through looking for the last name, first name. I don't know why they did that. Why don't they just put the person's first name, last name? No, it's last name, first name, author's last name, first name. Look for the author, look for their name through there. When you find that card with the author and the title that you're looking for, it's going to have a number on there, the Dewey Decimal System number. You take that number, you write it down. See on the top there's like those little pieces of paper where there's like a little pieces of paper with a little pencil. Remember the little pencil? You write down the number, and then you go to the spot in the library that has that number, and bam-o, bingo, bango, there's the book, and you can get that book, and then you can, at that time, if you want to, check it out. If not, go to the copier and copy it. They had a copier. You can copy some parts of the book for your report, whatever you needed to do. But there was no, if you go to a library today, there's computers. There was no computers. There was no ChatGPT. You couldn't go on Google. You can pretty much know anything you want by going on Google. But in those days, you had to go to a place. You had to drive to it. You had to skateboard to it because you were 12 years old. You had to walk to it. You had to get there on a bus. You had to go to a place called the library, and they still have them. They're rare. They're almost like unicorns, but libraries are still open, and you can get books there. If you want to get some nostalgia, if you want to feel what it was like to live in the 80s, go to the library today and feel a book. It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting thing that you're not virtually in the air reading a book. You're actually feeling it, feeling the paper, the touching, the flipping the pages yourself. It doesn't talk to you. It doesn't read to you. You actually have to read it. It's pretty crazy. Those were the old days. Number 3, smoking was pretty much allowed everywhere, even in restaurants. In fact, most restaurants had 2 sections, one for smoking, yes, and one for non-smokers. So when you would go to a restaurant and you went to eat, what you would tell the host, they would ask you, do you want smoking or non-smoking? There was this barbecue restaurant here, Chris and Pitts, which just closed recently. Amazing ribs, amazing pork sandwiches, amazing fish and chips. I always get the fish and chip sandwich. When you walk in, it was all, I mean, it was always like this, whether it was Chris and Pitts or any other restaurant. It was this lighted, beautiful area. And then way in the back towards the left somewhere, there was this dark area. It was all smoky. There was smoke flying around. There was this cloud, this constant cloud. It was like the cloud that led the Jews out of Israel, or whatever it was. And it was like a whole cloud everywhere, and you could barely see through it. And that was the smoking area. And it was like, and she would ask you, do you want to have the regular non-smoking area, or would you like to eat your pudding in the smoking area and smell smoke like a hotel in Vegas? Smells like a blackjack roulette table in Vegas. Do you want to eat there? Would you like to take your chances at the smoking area or eat in the non-smoking area? Now, here's the problem. The non-smoking area would be so packed. If you're on a Sunday right after church, the non-smoking section is super packed, and there's one fat guy over there smoking in the corner in the smoking area, and every chair is empty over there. So once I got a little older, I figured out my plan. Forget about the non-smoking area, because if I go and wait for the non-smoking area, it's going to take about an hour, maybe 2 hours. So I just took my chances with cancer and asked for a seat in the non-smoking area, actually in the smoking area, not in the non-smoking. The non-smoking was packed, so I just would take a chance and go to the smoking area, because you can get a seat. If it was like 11 o'clock after church on a Sunday, everything's packed. You want to guarantee yourself a seat. Go to the smoking area. Get a seat in the smoking area. You're going to meet some friends. You're going to meet some people that need some friends because they're smokers. There's a small group of them. They smoke over there in the corner. You're going to meet them. You're going to have breakfast with them. You're going to have some ribs with them. Whatever you're going to have, they're probably going to talk to you. They're going to be excited because when you walk in, everybody looks. Like, dude, that guy's going to the smoke. Dude, that guy's going to the smoking area. He's gonna go, hey, dude, that guy's going to smoke. They watch you going, because it's a dark area in the back. They watch you, and then when you get there, the smoking guys they're like eating. They walk. Oh, a new guy. Hey, new guy. Hey. It's almost like going to prison. It's crazy. Like, you get these new friends. It's crazy. So that's what it was like in restaurants in the 80s. In the 80s, there was smoking. You could smoke there. It was crazy. It was out of control. And my grandmother smoked. She's from Texas. She smoked like a chain smoker, so she loved it. Go to Denny's, smoking area. Go to IHOP, smoking area. Anywhere we went, so I got used to it. You know what I mean? Got used to going to the smoking area. It was crazy. Smoking area in the 80s, and you smoked everywhere. I mean, they smoked in the movies. Everything was like the 50s. It was like they were living in the 50s or something, but it was 80s. But look at this. Look at this. See the lonely guy, and this guy's probably the smoking guy. Or if you wish to smoke, will you please use a table beyond? Oh, so the guys in the back, just like I said, the guys in the back are the ones that are smoking, and then this guy's rubbing his head because he's like, damn, that smoke smells. Because even if there's no wall, there's no curtain, there's nothing blocking the smoke from coming over to the non-smoking. You still get a whiff. You still get a, whoof, I'm gonna die. You still get a little whiff. So this guy's scratching his head. He's like, man, my Salisbury steak is getting a little ash in it. It's got a little ash from the waitress. She passed by and she's got a little on her, and she got it in my Salisbury steak and my mashed potatoes. So he's a little frustrated. That's what's going on right there in that picture. Smoking was allowed on planes too, it says right here, he says, I distinctly remember seeing this in real life. Smoking allowed in planes. That's crazy. J-Rob says we have a restaurant in town that still allows smoking. J-Rob, do you live in Vegas or what? I know you don't live in Tennessee, right? There's still a restaurant that allows smoking, like the whole restaurant, J-Rob, or just like, is there a small section? That's interesting. That's super interesting. It's 2000. They get fined every month. Oh, dude, so they're not supposed to. So they're not supposed to have smoking in the restaurant. They just eat it up. Alabama's like, Alabama, we smoke over here if we want. We smoke all day. You ain't gonna tell us we can't smoke. We ain't do smoke, but no, we gonna smoke. No, we can smoke. We can smoke over here. We'll pay the fine. I don't care. We'll pay the fine. I don't care. We'll pay the fine. Alabama, you're gonna tell Alabama not to smoke. That's okay. Alabama ain't going to do it. That's it. Alabama. There you go, J-Rob. Smoke there in the small section of the restaurant. Crazy. It says here on the article that you could smoke on planes, dude. That's crazy. On an airplane, it's flying. There's jet fuel. There's all kinds of things. There's polish bottles in the purses, and you're smoking, and you can smoke on a plane. Dude, you can practically not even wear shoes on a plane anymore after the guy lit the shoe on fire the other day or the other years. Now you can't even hardly wear shoes. You can't even wear a belt practically in the plane. Now, I mean, in the 80s, 1988, you can wear you can smoke on a plane. That's crazy. The vodka and a cigarette, crazy. The first law banning smoking on most domestic flights went into effect in 1988. Crazy. Not till 1988 did they stop you. What's up, Alice Roppy? Alice Roppy in the house. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the morning show with the voice of a cold. That's my radio voice on 92.3 The Beat. Shout out to 93.3 The Beat. If you guys want to hire me, that's okay. You can do that. You'll definitely go out there. Alice Roppy, we're just talking about the 80s. Let me scroll up so Alice Roppy knows what we're talking about. We're talking about living in the 80s. If you remember, my girl, 1980s, you had the paddle in the schools. You had the Dewey system in the library. If you know what a library is, you could smoke in a restaurant. If you go to the smoking section, you could smoke. Smoking was allowed on planes. Smoking was everywhere in the 80s. Number 4, there was just so much smoking in general, including cigarette vending machines. Remember these? I love these machines. When I was a kid, I loved. My grandma would give me the dollars. You slide them into this machine. I was super excited at Denny's. There's one of these machines in the front. After you eat, my grandma gives me the dollars. Run up to the front, put the money in. These little pull things. This is the cool part about this was the pull thing. You put the money in. You pull which brand you want. You pull it, and then the box falls down into the compartment down there, and then your box of cigarettes out. I think my grandma smoked Marlboro Reds, if I'm not mistaken. She was hardcore Texas. Marlboro Reds. She would send me out to get the box. I love these machines. It was like a video game. You pull. I'm like, hey, Grandma, you don't want another? So you don't want another pack? You don't want pack? You're probably gonna go through one pack in an hour. You want another pack? She's like, no. I just need one pack. Okay, I'm cool. But I loved pulling the thing. You pull the thing, get your cigarettes out like that. That's how you got your cigarettes right there. It was crazy. J-Rob says, I remember my mom sending me to the lounge down the road to buy her smokes out of the vending machines. Yeah, at the bowling alley, the lounge. Yeah, just like that. Bowling alley, I think they still have those machines. I don't think they work, but they still have them. It's crazy. Ramon was telling me that there's some of these vending machines for art now that they put art pieces inside of them, and the artists put art pieces in them. You could buy art pieces in Vegas with these old vending machines because nobody's really smoking. Not that many people smoke anymore. I'm sure there's a lot, but not as many as before. Everybody smoked. So many people smoked that you had to have cigarettes in the liquor store. You had to have cigarettes in the grocery store. You had to have cigarettes in these vending machines everywhere because everybody was addicted to smoke. Smoking Cool, smoking Marbles, Winston's, all that stuff like that. People were addicted to that. Smoking wasn't largely sidelined like it is today. Yeah, nowadays you have to smoke outside. And they used to let you smoke in a patio. Now you can't smoke anywhere in the patio. You got to walk like 20 feet away from the building if you want to be a smoker. It's crazy. Oh, let me get this coffee. My voice is actually doing pretty good. What's our uptime? 38 minutes. Wow, my voice is doing pretty good for 38 minutes. That's pretty good. Oh, man. Number five, living in the 80s. There was a phone number you called, 767-267, or popcorn. That's funny. Popcorn was the number that you would call to find out what time it was. Now, that probably doesn't make any sense to you. Popcorn, dude. Yeah, popcorn. You'd call 767-2676. So what would happen is, like, you know that time falls back in the fall in certain areas. In California for sure. Maybe not in area. I think it's only part of Arizona and some parts of the state. The time changes here. Whatever. Some places it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Yeah, I don't know. Some states are not doing it. Some say I don't know who's involved. I don't know what states are not doing it. What states are doing it. Our state does it, and I think they're trying to create a law that doesn't do it anymore. But the time changes. The time changes. What's painting time and temperature are drive by the bank. Oh, that's a good one. Drive by the bank. So the time changes. Now today, when the time changes, what do you guys do? When the time changes, you don't hang out. You just go like this. You just go like this. You're on bed like this. And you wake up, your eyes wake up, and you know, dude, the day is the day, the time. You go like this. Grab your phone, and no matter what time change, whatever time it is, don't matter where you're at, your phone is going to be the right time. iPhone figured it out. Android figured it out. Whatever figured it out. ChatGPT, whoever AI, whatever they made these phones, figured it out. It just tells you the right time no matter what you do. Right now, it's 7:41 in California. No matter what, this thing's going to be right. They didn't have that in the 80s. They didn't have that in the 80s. Yes, most of the stuff auto-updates. In the 80s, when you were a little kid in the 80s, if the time changed, it was exciting because you would jump up, you would run to the phone. Now, why am I running to the phone? That sounds weird today, right? Because today you can just grab the phone. The phones were connected to the wall. The wall had a phone the wall had a wire that connected to the phone. The wire went out to the telephone pole. All that stuff was connected, landlines, actually a phone in your house. Do you remember that? A phone in your house. You'd call your girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. The phone in the house, you grab the phone, you have to call this number 767-2676 to find out what time it was. You press that number and you hear the lady, current time in California is 7:42. Current time in Arizona is 9:42. Whatever the time was, she would tell you the time over the phone. We love that. 2 times a year during the fall and the spring, you can call the number 767-2676 and find out what time it was. 2 times a year. It was exciting. And the phone I seriously had a phone that looked just like that. My mom had the phone that looked just like that for a while. We also had a yellow one. Remember the yellow or the green? Or they had different 70s colors. Like there's just the phone with like the round phone. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, and you call that. And yeah, that's how you find out what time it was. Number 6, if you're following along with us. Similar lines, you couldn't just Google a number on their phone. So if you wanted to call, say, a restaurant, you had to either look it up in the phone book. There we go, back with the books again, or call information. Yes, there were 2 options. You couldn't go on Google. There was no Google. There was no internet. Internet was coming around the corner. There was a book. There was this big, giant yellow book. Show up on your door, big old book. They throw it at your door, it fall on the porch. You get home from work, and there it is, this big old book, yellow pages. And you look through, it was alphabetized. Ads were in it with people, the plumber Jack, Ted Solo, the auto mechanic, which is Greg and Habib's dad. Different, if you wanted to find a pizza place, Pizza Mania, stuffed pizza was in there. I remember, you had to look for the numbers in the yellow pages. You would go through it. You didn't mind. In those days, there was no cell phones. That thing was fast. You didn't mind. You would just go through the pages for like 30, 40 minutes trying to find the number to the pizza place. Like just going through pages, like just going through pages for like 30 minutes. You didn't care. The time was of the essence. That time wasn't of the essence that time. You were just like had time. You just go through the pages. And then if you just couldn't find it, you just gave up. Then you'd call 411, I think was the information number. You'd call 411 and you say, lady, do you know the number to Pizza Mania? And she's, oh, yes. And I don't know how they did it because they didn't have Google. They didn't have internet. They didn't have none of that. So like in 2 seconds, the lady would patch you through. They would say, for the number to Pizza Mania, dial 8, or please stay on the line and we'll connect you. How in the hell did they do that? How did they do that? In like a few seconds, they probably had secret internet back then. They probably had secret internet in the operating systems. Pizza coupons in the Yellow Page. Yes. So you would put your ads if you were a pizza place and you had some money and you were big time, you'd put your ads in there. You can cut out I think you cut them out, or I think they had codes. Like you tell them the code over the phone, painting and polish. You would tell them a code or something like that, or I don't know if you guys had this in your area. We had something called the Penny Saver too. The Penny Saver had all the different businesses in the area and a bunch of coupons, and then you can get discounts from those businesses in the area. So it wasn't the code that you put on the internet. It was the code that you put in, reading it on the pages. The Penny Saver, yes. So you guys had that too? Fantastic. I thought it was a California thing. A Penny Saver, if you needed to find a business, you'd go there first because number one, it was local, and number two, you probably get a good discount. So you look at the Penny Saver, find that business, and then go from there. That's how you did it. You know, life was tough in the old days. Tell you what, it was like you had $100 for your food and stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Number 7, following right along, but worst part of only having a landline. Remember I said landlines. Everything was connected to the wall. The phone to communicate was that when you wanted to talk to your friend or gasp crush, you had to dial their phone number and likely talk to their mom or dad first. Ooh, cringe. Oh, I could feel the... Ooh, many times that happened to me. Many times, if you remember, you dial the phone. You don't going to get straight to their cell phone. Nobody has a personal cell phone in those days. There's 1 or 2 phones in the house. One's in the living room and one's in mom's bedroom, or maybe in the kitchen. Nobody has their own phone. It's a family phone. It's one line. It goes to the house. I think my phone number was 562-695-9585 or something like that. When in the old days, you call that number, it goes to the house. So you call your girlfriend, and you think that you call your girlfriend. You're not expecting. It's not like today. You hey, what's up, Susie? It's not like that. Susie's not going to answer the phone right away. You call the number, ring, 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 ring. First of all, it rings 40 times because the dad's trying to work on his car in the garage. Mom's trying to make the dinner in the kitchen. The thing rings like 4. He's like, he hits his head on the top of the freaking thing. He drops his, I gotta go. Runs in the house, grabs the phone. Hello. And you're like, hi, is Susie there? I want to talk to Susie. And he's like, who is this? Who wants to talk to Susie? Ma, this is Ray from school. All right, hold on. Susie, somebody on the phone wants to talk to you. And then he you hear the little tap. Hello, this is Susie. Boom, that's how you get to talk to your girlfriend. That's how you got to talk to her. Some dude would answer with a deep voice like this, or the mom would answer, what? Like, who's calling? Hey, it's 4:00 in the afternoon. Susie's doing homework. Who's calling? Who's calling, Susie, right now? It's 4:00. She's doing her homework. Oh, this is Ray from school. Oh, okay, fine. Susie, it's your friend from school. Then that's how you get on the phone. You had the buffer. There was a buffer. What's up, H-Town Love? We're talking about the 80s. We're talking about living in the 80s. Let's do a review for H-Town Love if you're following along. Living in the 80s. Number one in the 80s, H-Town Love. We're going to do a review for you real quick. Number 1, you had a paddle at school. People got beat. Number 2, speaking of school, you had the library. Number 3, smoking was everywhere. Smoking sections in the restaurants. Number 4, there was actually vending machines for smoking. Number 5, there was a phone that you would call, a phone number that you would call to find out what time it was. There was landlines. And number 6, if you recall, you wanted to find a restaurant, you'd have to use the yellow pages or call 411 and find out the number. We're on number 7, where you call your crush and the dad answers or the mom answers, and then you can talk to your friend. J. Rob says, I remember I'd get busted if I got a call at dinner time. Yeah, dude. Remember, see, like, I don't know why. And thank God to the management, she brought this into my family. Like, we used to all eat at the table at the same time. We'd all eat at the table at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Everybody was at the table. So that was a time salespeople wouldn't call unless they were rude, or your friends wouldn't call because everybody ate at the same time in America. I don't know why. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Everybody's eating the pudding on the table. Everybody's on the table. Everybody's on the table. Mashed potatoes. 6 o'clock on the table. Everybody's on the table at 6 o'clock. Nobody was calling anybody at that time. So yeah, when you got a call, you get busted at 6 o'clock. Your boyfriend calls at 6 o'clock. You're in trouble. Like, you did you ask to be excused? No. You ain't getting excused. You go talk to your boyfriend. And then at some point after the cell phones and everything like that, maybe that was the problem. Like, nobody eats on the table anymore. Like, we didn't do that for a long, long time. Mel brought that back in. Thank God for Mel, my wife, bringing that back in. I love that. I love eating at the table, everybody together. That's awesome. That's the way it should be. Now we're all eating at the table, but we all have our phones, watching a different show. Everybody's watching a different. We used to be able to watch the TV from afar. Now everybody has their own show on the phone at the dinner table. Oh man, that was number 7. Number 8. Speaking of kids talking to adults, back in the 80s, you absolutely addressed adults as Mr. and Mrs. You remember that? Mrs. Honore was across the street. Miss Hernandez was down the other way. Miss Martinez was down the way. Miss Martinez, you taking me to school today? Thank you so much, Miss Martinez. Thank you so much for taking me to school. Thank you so much. Nowadays, it's like, yo, Jim, yo, Ray, are we going or what? You know, there's no respect. Kids ain't got no respect. Kids ain't got no respect anymore. They ain't gonna call you Mister. They're gonna call you Miss. It's crazy. My brother's husband's from Georgia, I believe. I'm always messed up with the states, and he still says "ma'am" to everybody. He says it to my mom. He says it to everybody. Ma'am, sir. They've got that Southern hospitality back then. They still got that. They remember that. But nowadays, nobody's going to be like Mr., Mrs. It's just Doug and Tammy, just like right here, Doug and Tammy. Doug and Tammy. Crazy. Holy moly. Tacos de mañana. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the 80s. Holy moly. Number 9, going to the movies in the 80s. Whoa. In the 80s was very different than it is today. First, you couldn't just look up showtimes online. That's right. So you had to either find them in a newspaper, like below. Look at that old newspaper. Burt Reynolds, Stoker Ace, the old movie. Flashdance, old movie. An Officer and a Gentleman. Star Wars, like I mentioned earlier. All these movies in the 80s. You would either look it up in the newspaper. They had newspapers. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a rolled up thing that they throw at your door or your driveway. You roll it out, you take the rubber band off, and you look through it, and you can read news. You didn't go on TV, you read the news, or you looked in the back for the ads for the theater, the movies that are playing. And if you didn't do that, then you have to call a number. You call Village Cinemas. You call the movie line. Now, it's not like you can fast forward. You can't fast forward a telephone call. You can't fast forward the recorder. It says, welcome to Village Cinemas. Today's story is Stoker Ace, showing at 1:30 and 4:30 as well, and a 7 p.m. late night showing as well for that. Also, Flashdance showing at 11 a.m. and a 2 p.m. showing. And, oh, by the way, popcorn's only $2 a day. And a 9 o'clock showing for the late night disco arrangement there as well. Oh, and we have An Officer and a Gentleman at 11 o'clock, a 2 o'clock, and 4:30 late night show. And for The Return of the Jedi, that's right, The Return of the Jedi with Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, it is a 11 o'clock showing, a 1 o'clock showing, an extra 2 o'clock showing, a 4 o'clock showing, and a special newly opened 10 p.m. showing for Star Wars Return of the Jedi. That's right. So you had to wait through all the different movies to get to the movie that you really wanted. They put the best movie, they put the Star Wars all the way at the end. You have to wait for the whole recording to finish before you, like, I just want to, just tell me what time my movie's coming. And the old people are cool with the first one, they're cool with Stoke Race, but the kids are like, I just want to tell me when Return. And then if you missed it, you're writing down because you got to write down what it's saying. Dude, I remember that. I missed it. You got to listen to the recording again. And it just keeps, it repeats itself. It's repeating itself. You got to wait through all the other movies, wait through, and you finally hear, what, did you say two? Did you say two? Or three? Oh, you listen to it again. You listen to it again, and you write down the movie, write down the time, and then that's how you figured out what times the movies was. Now, And then when you got there, you just had to like hope there was a seat available. It was like first come, first serve, general admission. H-Town Love says, "Oh my God, huge phone books, residential and one for business. I had forgot. Yeah, phone books. Let me show you some. I'm going to show you. My mom's going to hate me for this. This is our phone. Okay, you keep your contacts. You keep all your contacts in your phone. Before there was a phone, this was this. This is our family contacts. This right here is where my mom put Uncle Nato's phone number, Mary and Jim's phone numbers. You wrote them down in the phone book. This is your phone. I think they called it a phone book. I don't know. This is your contact. We call it contact. I don't know I don't even remember what they called this. This is like your phone numbers book. All your friends are in here. And you're here. You lose this, you're screwed. This thing is, look at this. From when I was a kid, it's still here. 48 years, holy moly. Yeah, that's how it was. The address book, is that what they call it, J-Rom? Yeah, because you're right, because there's people's address in there. Yeah, there's their phone number, not just their phone number, their address. Because you got to make the Christmas right around now. You have to make the Christmas labels, and you had to you had to write them down on. You had to write them on each envelope. Write on the envelope, next envelope, write them down. There was no computer printing it out. It wasn't like that. That's what you called it? Oh, man, the address book, yeah. Crazy. So going back to the movies, crazy. Yeah, movies. Man, you got to wait for the whole recording before you even, man, you got to wait for your recording. Till Gremlins came on. You got to wait through the recording. Till E.T. came on. I keep waiting. Number 10, the worst part yet, you couldn't buy a ticket or pick your seat online. You had to drive to the theater, hoping and praying, with no guarantee that the movie wouldn't sell out, and wait in line to buy a ticket. And if you managed to snag a ticket, you then had to hustle to the screening room and grab a decent seat so you wouldn't get stuck in the first two rows. You remember that? You would run in, try to get the back rows, because if you were late, you were sitting in the front. Period. If you were late, you were sitting in the front. Nowadays, you go on the cell phone. I don't even know how to do it. My wife does it. The Fandango app, you buy the tickets before you, so it doesn't even matter if Caesar gets there before me. When I get there and he's on F6, Caesar, you got to get up. I own this. Yeah, look at my phone. I bought this seat. You got to get up. The seat's already, you buy the seat online. By the time if you think you're going to go old school and drive over to the theater and try to get yourself a seat, it's too late. All the seats are sold out. All of them, even the front. Somebody likes the front and they bought it online with their phone. It's too late. Back in the day, you had to go there, hope for the best, get there physically, get your seat. Nowadays, you can buy that seat online. You have the power of the cell phone. It was crazy. Now that we're older, we get for the second row. Yeah, J-Rob, hey, H-Town, you make a good point right there. I tell you what. Yeah, you don't want to be bothered by the teens. That's a good point, H-Town. You kind of want, the teens are throwing popcorn in the back and stuff like that. They're making out all over the sky. You don't want all that. And that's one reason. Here's a second reason, H-Town, for that. You want the front row because maybe you're like me and you forgot your damn glasses. So I can't, if I'm in the back row, I can't see without my glasses. So I'm going to have to get like really close. I'm going to have to get like front row seats, because I forgot my glasses. I got to remember to bring my glasses. If I'm going to commit, right? If I'm going to commit on my phone to those back row seats, I better remember to bring my glasses or my wife's going to be pissed. Like, I can't see the thing. I'm probably going to fall asleep. Which, by the way, I love. Management's not here, but I can say this. I love going to the movies. Anybody ask me to go to the movies? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go to the movies. It's dark in there. There's sounds playing in the background. Everybody's quiet. Nobody's on their phone. That's the best place for me to sleep. I can fall asleep in the movies like nobody's business. Yeah, the glasses, dude. You got to remember the glasses. That's the thing. When you get older, you probably want the front seats. You're right, H-Town. You probably want the front seats for many, many reasons. Many, many reasons. Look at that. Look at the numbers up there. Man. If you wanted concession food, you generally had one person wait in the screening room to save the seats. Yeah, you would send somebody. I don't know if you've seen that episode with Seinfeld and they get mixed up in the different theaters. And he's like, Elaine. They're looking for each other in the theater. I don't know if you remember that episode of Seinfeld. Is crazy. Drive-ins were awesome, dude. Drive-ins were awesome, J-Rob. Dude, there was a Santa Fe Springs drive-in, and now it's the Santa Fe Springs Swap Meet. We'll probably do a live there eventually, me and Ramon. There was a Santa Fe Springs drive-in. When you drive in, you park your spot, big old screen, as big as a giant building, and then there's a pool with this gray speaker, and you roll down your window halfway. You go out of this window, you grab the speaker, and you put it like saddles. It saddles onto your window, like saddles on there. You saddle it on there, and then the speaker plays the sound into your car. That was one way. I don't know if you remember this, J-Rob, or any of you guys. Remember before they had the speaker? I was a little younger. You drive in. There was no speaker. You had to you could dial the AM radio station to a certain station, and it would pick up the signal and put the movie sound into your speakers. You guys remember that? I remember that. There was something like that. You didn't have to. Some movie theaters you didn't have to put the whole speaker in your car. There was an actual signal, AM signal that would dial. You dial it in your car, and then the John Travolta would come out, Grease Lightning, on your speakers. It was crazy. For me, the radio frequency was after the speakers. The radio frequency was after the speakers. Okay. I don't remember. You might be right, Painting Polish. I don't remember the order, but yeah, there was something like that. That came after a speaker first, then tune. Okay. So the radio thing came after. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember the thing that you had to straddle it on your window, and hopefully nobody hung on it because it didn't break. And there would be people would come to your window and ask if you want to buy popcorn, stuff like that. And then the radio thing, yeah, you could dial it in. I like that, But if you had a crappy radio, it was like boom, 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 boom. Like your speakers are all cracked out from playing by some music. It was crazy. Crazy ads. Were there ads? Were there ads, H-Town? There's probably a bunch of ads like if you ever watch Ramon's show, I think the intro, right? It's like let's all go to the movies. Like that whole thing comes from that. That comes from the drive-through era. That intro that Ramon has on his show, that all comes from that drive-through era. The snack shack was in the back. You had to go walk over to it and get the Cokes and the nachos and everything. Send Dad over there. It's freaking freezing cold, 40 degrees. Everybody's cuddled up with blankets in the car. Send Dad out. get 5 Cokes. One of them's diet. Somebody has a freaking diet issue. One of them's diet. A big old thing of popcorn, nachos. So dad's like walking with a box, trying to make it to the car. Half the popcorn is falling out. Half the popcorn is down the way, leading a trail to his car. Half the stuff's falling. Hot dogs, yes, hot dogs, J-Rob. Hot dog. Somebody wants ketchup. Somebody wants mustard. You're the freaking cook for everybody on movie night. Opening up the ketchup. Oh, you want relish? Open the relish. You put the relish. Oh, some ketchup. They didn't have those. They didn't have the pump. This is the 80s. They had the packets. You got to pack it. You got to open it up, the mayonnaise, put it all in yourself. It was crazy. And a giant pickle. Oh, you guys had it good, J-Rob. The giant pickle in Alabama. Fantastic. The giant pickle. They didn't mess around with the pickles in Alabama. Alabama going to have the big pickles. Holy moly. 11. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. There was a massive anti-drug hysteria in the 80s. First Lady Nancy Reagan led Just Say No campaign, complete with celebs forcefully telling us how dangerous drugs were, and it convinced me I was constantly at risk of a shady drug dealer approaching and pushing drugs. Yeah. You didn't mess around with drugs in the 80s because you could get arrested. It was crazy. I grew up in Cali at that time. Oh, J-Rob, you're in Cali, so you know what's up. Near Sacramento. Yep. Marysville, Yuba City. Yep, I know those places. The Dare Dog. Yeah, the Dare Dog. Yeah, you couldn't mess around with drugs because it was dangerous. It was dangerous. In the meantime, as all this was going on, every businessman, everybody that was doing business, McGruff. McGruff, the Dare Dog McGruff. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, in the meantime, while they're pushing this message across, people were snorting coke in the office. So people were, everybody was coked up. If you watch the movie, what's that movie about Wall Street? With the movie with Wall Street, everybody's coking it up. Anyways, in the 80s, Wall Street was going crazy. All the business people were coking it up. The thing was, in the 80s, they didn't know it was dangerous. The doctors were giving it. Wolf of Wall Street. Yes, J-Rob, my favorite movie. I don't know why I didn't remember that. The Wolf of Wall Street, DiCaprio's in there. That movie is incredible. A very good example. Shows the partying that was going on in Wall Street, everything like that. Craziness. That movie tells it all. The parties that were happening, the cocaine that was happening, the crazy parties that were going on. 80s was a wild time. There was all these coke parties going on. Everybody was coked up. And the thing is, they were trying to work. The capitalism was going crazy. They're trying to work many hours. So they had to take this to kind of keep up, work longer hours, compete in the industry, try to stay up. They didn't drink coffee like I do. They were snorting it up. They were coking it up, staying up all day and then eventually into the night and never sleeping. And and then some of them got addicted. There was a whole crash. And then you have the 90s, and then you have grunge rock. That's how grunge rock came about. That's my history for you guys. That's my history lesson for you guys. Okay, all the parents were coking it up, and then you had grunge rock. Boom. Make it simple, right? Make life simple. That's how simple history is what I give you here, folks. Simple history is what I give you here. I don't give you the details. I just coke it up on the 80s, and then all of a sudden everybody's grunge rocking in the 90s. I don't know how that works. You figure out the pieces. You figure out the missing pieces. I'm not here to figure out the pieces. I'm just telling you the factsies, the outer factsies. I give you the crust. You guys figure out the inside. Okay, figure that out. Number 12, no phones, internet meant the kids spent most of their time playing outside, often doing things their parents would not approve of. That is so true. When I see K-Rock going outside, I'm like, dude, you're going outside? Like, what are you going to do out there? I mean, what's there to do out there? What's out there? I'm a little worried because I don't know what it was. I don't remember. I remember when I was a kid, we ride our bikes down the street. You know, you do stuff, but I don't know what's out there these days. I mean, like, you went outside. Are you sure the sun's out there? You might get burned by the sun. I don't know what's going to happen if you go out there. You might get back a car. You know, the kids don't go outside. There's a computer inside. Why would you want to go outside? There's no computers outside. You know, let's go game. You know, we're always playing Roblox. We don't go outside. That's crazy. I always get a little worried when he talks about going outside. I don't know about that. Your mom thought you were riding a bike around the block because you would ride your bike for like miles. You would go 4, 5, 6 blocks down and ride your. You didn't have to worry back then. I guess nobody was stealing kids back then. I don't know what it was. And it says right here, but in that time you went 5 miles away. That's true. Explored an abandoned house, jumped over some garage roofs. Yes, I do. I'm sorry, Glenn, the legend Glenn. If you're listening to the show, Glenn, I messed up his roof one time. It leaked onto his television. He had a TV in the garage, and it leaked and messed up his TV. Sorry, Glenn. We used to jump roofs like crazy in my neighborhood. It was crazy. Messed up everything. Attempted a Ouija board, built a den in the woods, and made your own fire. Yeah, you would explore all kinds of places. We had railroad tracks in our neighborhood that went for miles. We would explore. We'd pick up the old newspapers that were probably not what we should have been looking at on the sides of the railroads, picking up old beer bottles. We had this place. There's a street in Whittier called Mines, and if you go to it today, you could go right through. You could drive through it. In those days, you couldn't drive through it. The railroad track was stopping you. There was a dead end. We used to take the rocks from the railroad tracks, and we'd have wars with the kids across the. God, I can't even believe I have 2 eyes, because we would throw rocks at each other. Those perfectly nice, you know, the railroad always has the nice little silver rocks, like silver whitish rock, like perfect rocks. I don't know why railroads get the best rocks. You can't get rocks in my backyard for $99.95. Railroads have the best rocks. You would throw them at each other. Rock wars on the railroad. It was crazy. And then you tell your mom you're going down the street, your friend's house, and you're having rock wars with the kids down the street. It's crazy. I've done all those things. I love reminiscing. Yeah, dude, I can't believe this guy must have been hanging out with us, huh, J-Rob? This guy knows exactly what we did. We explored all kinds of stuff like that. You can't do that these days. You'll get stolen. There's a business. There's like a kid business out there. Some OMG. That's one time we tried the Ouija board, and it actually moved, so we threw it away. Then it was back and under our bed. We burned it and never played with it again. You did the right thing, H-Town Love. So many of my friends played with the Ouija board. So many bad things happen. That thing will follow you around. Those spirits are out there. I don't know, whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want to believe. There is a dark side out there. You mess with that Ouija board, you're messing with some dark situations. Stay away from the Ouija board. Tell your kids stay away from the Ouija board. I'm telling you from experience, H-Town's telling you right now, it is dangerous. You have to burn the thing. It won't go away. You got to burn that thing. Don't buy it. Mattel, I don't know why you put it out there. Target, I don't know why you're selling it. You go to Target, you tell them, I'm just going to buy it. Your parents don't know. It is dangerous. You got to burn that thing. The Ouija board is not to be messed around with. Just be home by the street. Yeah, it would just say, your parents would say, just be home by night. And that was like 6 o'clock at night. Like, just be home for dinner at 6. Chicken's on the stove. You just be home by. You play football in the middle. Dude, I remember this guy. We were riding our bikes, and the kid got hit by a car. It's like freaked me out. Like, what the heck? Kid freaked the car. The ambulance came and everything like that. Like, dude, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Every day it was crazy. You were just out in the streets. It was crazy. And there was this weird guy. I shouldn't even say this. There was this weird guy, this little midget guy. He had the banana bike with the handlebars, like the kid's bike, but with like a big old Harley Davidson handlebars. And he had the party in the back and the business in the front, the mullet and bangs and his dark sunglasses and his tank top, and he would just ride around watching us. You know who Terry, you remember who you are. You would watching the kids. I don't know what that guy was up to, but he was always watching us. He was always like riding his bike around the block for no reason. Like, 40 years old with a bike like a kid. All of a sudden he's out at the time we're out. That was kind of weird. Very weird, Terry. I don't know what you were up to, buddy. I know you were up to something. Thankfully, he never messed with us. My brother's friends got hit by a car, flew up, got up, and said, "I'm okay." Oh my God. He got hit by a car, flew up, and said, "I'm okay," and kept running. Oh my God. Dude, well, when the kid I was talking about, when he got hit on the corner, and I remember it was an old you know those old, like a truck, but like those old school trucks. I forgot what they're called. Man, I should know this. I'm a car guy, but it's Saturday morning. He gets hit. He flies, just like you're describing. He flies back. And when you're a kid, like it looks like he's flying like Superman, right? He's flying backwards. This is all happening in slow motion. In your mind, he's flying. Boom, he lands, and his leg's broken up. His leg, whatever, I guess must have been the leg he hit or something like that. Leg's broken up. Ambulance come. I live around the corner, and I'm crying to the neighbors like, "Hey, can somebody give me a ride?" I have a bike. I'm like so freaked out. I'm like, "Can somebody give me a ride? My friend just got somebody give me a ride." Everybody's like, "What are you freaking out about? You live around the corner. You have a bike. Just go." And I just rode my bike home. It was a very traumatic experience. As you see, I can remember the details. Crazy. I'm traumatized. And number 13, young people today have thousands of photos on videos of their lives on their phone. In the 80s, kids had way fewer photos of their lives. Why? Because it was work. Because getting a photo was a hassle. Film was like expensive. You had to buy the little Kodak film thing you had to go to the store, get the film, open the thing, put the film in, make sure you had batteries in there. You had to buy AA batteries, put the batteries in, and it wasn't just like you can't just put an SD card in. It was this thing you like rolled out, pushed it in, made sure it sat in correctly, wound it up a couple times so it run, you pushed it in, and that was your film. It was crazy. And that's how you put the film. It's a lot of work. And then you have to develop it. Once you take you're not trying to take a bunch of pictures because you only got 100, right? So you're like, and then mom's like, "Oh, but what about?" No. We only have 90 left. So I can't take another one with grandma in the cigarette. Can't do it. We only have so much. We got all Christmas Day. It's 9:00 in the morning. We have all Christmas Day. We only got so much film. We can't take another picture with grandma. Okay. So let's go. Let's move on. Let's move Christmas up. Let's keep going. So you take your 90 rolls. You take the little thing to Kmart, because there was no Walmart. It used to be Kmart. You take the little thing to Kmart. You pay the price. You fill out an envelope. With your address, your phone number, your social security number, everything. All the information was on there. It was a white with yellow border envelope, if you remember that. You put the film in there, seal it up, drop it in the little slit box thing. The guy would come at the end of the day with the key. I remember because I worked at Kmart. Put the key in, open the thing up, get all the film out like that, boom, 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 throw it in some guy's truck. 2 weeks later, comes back. They give you a phone call. "Hey, your film's ready. Miss Brackmont says your film's ready. You can come pick it up." And you get the message on your voicemail. It wasn't voicemail. It was your voice machine. What did they call it back then? An answering machine. You get the message on your answering machine, and then you could go drive to Kmart, pick up your photos from Thanksgiving 5 weeks ago. By then, you don't even care. By then, you're probably like, "Oh, maybe I'll pick them up." I got to take the kid to baseball. Maybe on the way to Kmart. Maybe on the way to baseball. Maybe we'll go pick it up. We get some chicken, and then we'll go pick him up, and then we'll go to drop him off at baseball. Maybe we'll drop him off at baseball, and then when he's at baseball, then we'll go pick up. You had to plan the whole thing. But sometimes it was a hassle. It was a hassle to take pictures back then. And the freaking Polaroid. Look at this Polaroid camera. This is the stuff though. If you were rich, you had the Polaroid camera. It would pop the film out. It would pop out. The picture would pop out. That's the way to go because you'd have it right away. It was instant. Pop it out. You just like. You snap the picture, it comes out. You got and it's like all gray. There's nothing on it. You're like this. You remember this? Remember doing this like all day? And then the picture would. Oh wow. Okay. We gotta take that again because to do it again. And you put it down and you take pictures and that's how you did it with the Polaroid. We went to Kmart every Sunday after church for blue light special. Yeah, Kmart was awesome. Yeah, I used to work. I was the manager in the warehouse. I was the manager in the warehouse until I ran the forklift into the garage, and then they fired me. So I was at Kmart for a long time. Had forgotten about that. Polaroids are still cool, dude. Polaroids are dope. They've got new ones now that are like blue and all tech, like nice, like trippy retro colors and stuff like that. And then I think my daughter has one. My daughter has a Polaroid. Those are real cool. You can have the instant thing, and then you have there's a closet over there that you guys have seen on the show. There's a giant mirrored closet right here in the studio. Half of that thing, that thing's probably what, 15 by 3 wide, 15 feet tall. Half of that thing is albums from my grandmother, all of my mom's family, all of my dad's side of the family. Albums. You remember the albums with like the floral albums, like the floral material? Hydrate. Oh, thank you, J-Rob. You knew you could feel it. You could feel it. You could hear it in my voice, J-Rob. I need to hydrate. Thank you, J-Rob. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And look at the little bit of water that I have right here. Oh my God. Thank you for the hydrate. Oh my gosh. I'll polish that hydrate off with a little bit of coffee. Thank you, Jero. That's crazy. Yeah, but you remember the albums, the spiral albums with the flowery covers, and then inside there was a plastic that you and then you plop down your Polaroids or your developed pictures onto the albums, and you got like all these albums. Like there was no phone, there was no iCloud, there was no Google Cloud, there was no all these things on your phone or your SD card or your USB drive or your drive. There was albums. I have those albums. Stuff turns yellow, dude. Yes, baby balls. The freaking it's a white. When you buy it, it's a white cardboard thing that you pull the plastic off. It's white when you buy it, and 10 years later it's yellow like grandma smoked on it, right? The whole white thing turned yellow. If you try to get those pictures out, you're gonna be like with a chisel trying to get those pictures out. You'll never get them out. You leave them in the book. Leave them in the book for the archives. Leave them in the book for the Historical Society. They're probably gonna want to see that yellow book because it's a rare thing these days. Some pages are stuck together. Yeah, the glue's stuck together. Sometimes the glue wears out, so the flappy plastic just flaps around now, and the pictures are all falling out. So if you have the cheaper version from the $1 store, the glue wore out, and now you wish like 30 years ago that you would have bought the expensive one because the glue wore out. And the pictures are all falling out of the book. So then you gotta like stack them in a corner somewhere in a box, because the glue's not holding up after 30 years. I mean, you expect the glue to at least last 90 years. This glue's only lasted 30 years. What's going on, science? Oh man, considering all that, it's amazing how many photos kids take today. Polaroid cameras, which immediately spit out some soon to be finished photo, helped, but still the amount of photos I personally took during my childhood could probably fit in a shoebox. Yeah, you can take a lot of pictures. Your mom did, but you did not take a lot of pictures. Oh man. Number 14. We're almost done here. The mall was the place to be in the 80s. Isn't that true? Once there you could browse new toys and fashions, listen to music at record stores, talk to friends. It basically the internet was basically the internet of its time. Interesting. So Mike says here at this is where you hung out. You would skate over to the Whitwood Mall, and the malls were indoors. Okay, they were inside. There was a building, a long building. It was inside. In those days, you could have a mall inside. Nowadays, they don't like the malls. Nobody goes to the mall. But what's funny is they'll knock down the mall and then they'll make an outside mall. So I guess it's as long as the roof is off, people will go. I don't know what the thing is. They're knocking down these malls, and then they're putting up stores separately in the same spot, and they're not together. Maybe there's a little space in between, and there's no roof, and now all of a sudden people go. Like, was it the roof? Was it the stores were too close together? Is that what was pissing people off? I don't know what it was. People after a while, in the 90s. Not even the 90s. 80s was fine. The 90s were fun. The 2000s, all of a sudden, nobody wants to go to inside the mall. It was like they're freaked out. I don't know what the thing was. Yeah, yes, the mall was the place to meet guys. Yeah, dude. You would skate over there, go hopefully meet some chicks. Sam Goody, dude, that's a memory right there. Like the record store, you would go in there, look at CDs. They had tapes back then, cassettes. You could look at the Ride the Lightning cassette. You could look at the Metallica's new Master of Puppets cassette that came out. Go down there, look at all the new cassettes that came out. Go to these stores. KB Toy Store, by the way, my first retail job, KB Toy Store. One of my claim to fame is my background, my certificate is in retail. Started at KB Toy Store because at the ROP school here, they put us through the 10 key program, and then they also got us a job as teens, and I had to work at the KB Toy Store. So I worked at the KB Toy Store, restocking the shelves, talking to customers, checking people out, demoing the product. You had the mall, so you were outside of the store, pushing the helicopter thing and showing people how the helicopter thing flew. Or the frog game and the fishing game outside of the store to get people into the store, draw people into the store, and sell. That's how I learned to sell. It was at KB Toy Store, trying to get people in the door to buy toys. That was my first selling job right there, KB Toy Store. It was awesome. The mall was also the place to skip school and go to. Yeah, you want to hide, you can go to the mall. They had a fountain. You say, meet me at the fountain. Every mall had a fountain. Meet me at the fountain. Sarah, meet me at the fountain. We're gonna meet at the fountain. At 2:00, we're gonna meet at the fountain at the mall. You go to the fountain at the mall. It was indoors, in a fountain. There was always a movie theater at the end for some reason. At the end of there's either like a Sears or a JC. There was Sears at one end, J.C. Penney's at the other end, and then in between all these other stores, a Hallmark store, of course, the sausage store. What is that sausage you guys buy for Christmas? The little sausage, the sausage place. I don't know, the little crackers. They had the cracker store with the sausage and all that. Not my mall. All the thirsty moms power walk the mall, and we have caught skipping. Oh my God. Hickory Farms. There you go, Painting Ball. It's Hickory Farms. The Hickory Farms nowadays is a little stand outside of the mall. In those days, there was a whole store. It was a Hickory Farm store, KB Toy Store, Sam Goody. A Payless shoe store was at every mall in the United States. A Payless shoe store, because we couldn't afford the Air Jordans. We got the Air Fordens. Couldn't afford the real ones. And we Pro Wings is what they were called. Pro Wings is what we could afford, and that's where we got them at Payless. Pro Wings shoes were like $3 or something like that. You know what I mean? So that was the store we go to, and they have Foot Locker, of course, for if you could afford it. You go to the Foot Locker, you buy the Air Jordans. We were at Payless buying the Pro Wings, called Pro Wings. Those were the affordable Air Jordans. They had a picture of a guy So Air Jordans had a picture of a guy of Jordan like making the basket. Pro Wings had a guy like trying to jump, like he didn't all the way jump. He just kind of that was like the almost Jordans. Those Pro Wings. That's what we could afford. That's what we could afford back then. KB Toy Store, all those different stores. You could get lost in there. It was a big place, and you skate outside. They had plenty of concrete, parking lots, skateboarding. Everything was inside. Everything was inside. Everything was in the building, the big giant building. Now everything's outside. Like everything's like falling out. The Marie Callender's is on the outside in the parking lot. Ruby's Diner's on the outside. Everything's outside. I don't know. Everybody wants to be outside or something. My brother had the Free Willy sneakers from Payless. Nice, Free Willy. Oh, I wish I could see those. Can you put a picture in the Discord if you find those? Free Willy sneakers from Payless. Yes, they had partnerships with some of the movies, obviously. Yes, the Payless shoe store. Remember the metal thing where you put your foot in and then you just like you put your foot in it, you slide the thing down, and it like sizes your foot, and then once you got the size, you could go look. Like you put your foot in there. It was like cold. It was like Christmas, like around this time in December. And you take your shoe off, and you put your foot in that cold metal thing. And you're like and then your mom like snaps it on you, and you like snaps it on you. It's like a clamp, like an alligator clamp, like snap it on your foot, and then it tells you the size. Then you go look for your shoe. That was the thing back then. I don't have pictures of it. We never owned a camera when we were little. I would have fun of him forever. I would make fun of him forever if I did. We're going to look for that. We're going to look for the Free Willy sneakers that H-Town's brother had. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wrapping it up at number 15. Speaking of the 80s kids going to the mall, it blows my mind that parents would be like, meet me in front of the Sears at exactly 6 p.m. and then have to just go on faith that their kid would be there 5 hours later with no way to track or communicate. That's right. There was no like, my son has a wrist like a watch and I can track him. There's a GPS now. In those days, there was no little thing that you could snap to your kid's suit and let them go and then track them on your phone. You just go, meet me in front of Sears at 6 o'clock. I'm going to go look at the Hallmark. I got to buy your grandma a anniversary card. She's been married 40 years. I got to go get the anniversary card, this perfect anniversary card at Hallmark. And then I got to go over to Hickory Farms and buy her Thea some sausage. She needs a sausage. And then after that, and then probably then I got to go. And there was a CVS in the mall, by the way, at the corner. I got to go get my prescriptions at the mall on the corner. I get my prescriptions. By then, my prescription's done. I'll meet you at 6 o'clock in front of the Sears. By the time, in the meantime, you're at the arcade, you're jumping through the fountains, you're running through the clothes in Sears by yourself. They would just, and then at some point you would just meet up at 6 o'clock. You would be there. Hopefully nobody jacked you. Hopefully nobody took you. You were all here, right? So we survived. But dude, you couldn't do that. You can't do that today. You can't just tell your kid, go somewhere and then I'll meet you. No, they're going to take you. That's crazy. H.L. says, my parents would drop us off at Astro World. I don't know what that is, but that sounds fun. Astro World at 10 a.m. and come back at 10 p.m.? 12 hours later, literally like hundreds of us teens were waiting to be picked up. Oh my God. Dude, they would. You could do that. You would drop people. You could drop kids off at a festival. Boom, come back. No carnies going to take you in those days. I don't know why. Thankfully, no carnies would take people in those days. You throw them at the carnival, give them $20 in cash. They could ride the rides 3 times, or $20. They could ride the ride 3 times, and nobody would take them. You could drop them off at the mall, pick them up later. Nobody would take them. You drop them off at the movies. We'd go to the movies, and there was no guard at the front. You would go see Hellraiser in one. You'd leave and run into the other theater and go see Christmas Vacation in the other theater. You'd see 4 movies in one day and pay for one. You could do that stuff in those days. J-Rob went roller skating all day, but the double day pass. Buy the double day pass. Yeah, they had roller rink, Skateland here in Whittier as well. You'd be there all day, hook up with the DJ chick in the DJ booth, and then man, now you guys are gonna remember. See what you do to me, J-Rob. See what you do to me. Crazy. Love the 80s. What else do you crazy? So that was our 15 things about the 80s, about living the 80s. Great article from BuzzFeed. If you want to check that out, BuzzFeed article by Mike Core, I think his name is. Let's go back up to the top. Mike, I want to give you credit. Mike Spoor, if you want to come on the show, go ahead. Mike Spoor, that was our great article on the 80s. I thought that was hilarious. Dude, when I read that article, I got to share it with you guys. Great article. Everything on there, everything on there we did, right? A lot of us went, we experienced that. So, totally relevant for us growing up in the 80s. Like I said, 1985, I was exactly 10 years old. So I went through all these things. So it's crazy to see how far technology has gotten, how we don't let our kids out anymore because we would never do that. It's crazy. Things have changed quite a bit. There's no smoke. Like if somebody smokes, you're like, eh. Back then it was everybody smoked. It was crazy. I was born in 1979, J-Rob. Yeah, so you're a little younger than me. I was 1975. So yeah, dude, you remember all those things, those cool things in the 80s. It was coolest time to grow up. 80s, 90s, coolest movies. The coolest. Star Wars was out. E.T. came out. The Gremlins. Best music. New wave was popping out. We're just getting out of the punk rock era. 1970s to 79. The 80s was the punk rock era. Jumping into the 80s. Now we have the new wave music. So great music in those days as well. It was a great time. Yes, just a baby. I was born in 1986. Whoa, yes, you're very young. H-Sound, yeah. So you were just a baby when these things were happening. You were in a stroller, and your mom was strolling you down the mall inside. It was crazy. Merch, get that merch, Ramon. Ramon, did you just pop in, my friend? Good morning, my friend. Tacos de mañana. Gear it up. You guys get those community shirts. Not only the community shirt, but the community stocking. Juice gang. We are thirsty, not dangerous. That's our gang. We're not dangerous. We are thirsty. Goose gang. Shout out to Ramon Works. Thank you so much. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Who did that? J-Rob? Awesome. Whoever did that, thank you. I can't see it for some reason. It's covered. Join us in the following. Ramon Works. Yeah, follow Ramon Works. Do it. Awesome. Thank you, J-Rob. Oh my gosh, crazy. Yeah, get that merch. The official community shirt, Juice Gang. Get that shirt. Hold on one second. Crazy. Yeah, that was it. Cool. Arcades, dude. Arcades was a thing. I mean, they had Atari, yes. They had some other Odyssey. They had Odyssey. Ramon, do you know what the Odyssey is? They had the Odyssey game. Odyssey was a competitor of Atari. Odyssey had a bunch of games too. Like Atari, you had cassettes, you pop them in, and you play the game. Odyssey had a bunch of games. 1985 was actually, I think, or 84 was when Pong came out, the Atari video game. The first ever Atari video game was in the 80s as well. So yeah, they had video game systems, but you wouldn't stay home and play video games. That was weird. You would go to the mall, you would go to the arcade, you would stay there all day, put quarters in the machine and play Street Fighter. Whoa, Juice Gang Gang stocking. Somebody just ordered the Juice Gang Gang stocking. Ramon ordered the Juice Gang Gang stocking for Christmas. When he goes on Christmas morning and puts his stocking up on the fireplace, they're going to know he's affiliated. He is affiliated. Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang. Did you? Oh, you're giving it away? You're giving it away, Ramon? Oh, it's a giveaway. Ramon's giving. Thank you, Ramon. Ramon's giving it away. It's for you guys. It's not for him. He's giving it away. Exclamation point, enter in the chat if you want to win that stocking, the Juice Gang Gang stocking, the official Juice Gang Gang stocking. If you want to win that stocking, put it in. Exclamation point, enter, and you'll get that. You'll get that. You'll get that. You will get that. Oh my gosh, there you go. Wow, don't miss your chance to win. Type it in, exclamation point, enter to get that Juice Gang Gang stocking. Boom, boom, boom. Tacos en mañana. It needs tacos inside. Here, I'll tell you what. Painting polish. I will put tacos inside, but I will put them inside my body. Oh, wow. Tacos de la mañana. Holy moly. Hype it up, hype it up, hype it up. Tacos de la mañana show. Tacos de la mañana show. Guest today was tacos. Guest today was carnitas. Guest today was pastor. Guest today was tacos. Take a picture of Uncle Red when he gets his shirt. Yeah, let me know how it turns out. I don't even have one. I haven't seen it. Yet. H-Town, did you win? Who won? Who won the shirt? H-Town, yeah, H-Town won you on the shirt. Perfect, H-Town, there you go. The official community shirt. Should be the first one wearing that shirt, the official Juice Gang Gang shirt with juice on the shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, that shirt has juice on the shirt. Make sure you follow me on Instagram if you want to see the pictures. Check out my Discord. If you're a Discord member, you'll be able to see the picture. Or go to raiseflaves-fourthwall.com right now, and you can see that official community t-shirt. And it looks like J-Rob will be wearing one. H-Town Love will be wearing one. Showing me the juice stocking. There you go. Oh, it was a stocking. There you go. You won the stocking. Okay, cool. There you go. You'll be affiliated. You'll be going and putting that stocking up over the fireplace with all the kids' stuff. Yours will be legit. Yours will be the only legit one up there. Yours will be Juice Gang Gang. They will know you're affiliated. Once you put the stocking up, your family's going to be able to watch out, mama. Watch out for mama. She is affiliated. Not dangerous. She's thirsty. Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang. Holy moly, holy moly, holy moly. Let me get a little carnita. Talking to mañana. Oh, my. Yeah. It was a stocking. I'm sorry. I'm excited. There's so many items up there now. Stockings, t-shirts. H-Town just won the stocking. The official Juice Gang Gang stocking, if you're just joining us. So many items up there. T-shirts. We now have an official community t-shirt. We have official community stocking for Christmas, just in time for the holidays. We have shirts up there. We have the drink. Alexa has one of those drink bottles, which is really cool. I don't even have one of those. It's freaking awesome. There's hoodies. I'm wearing. Oh, did you guys see the hoodie? I got the hoodie. That's one thing I do have. I got a hoodie. Got the hoodie. I'm wearing the hoodie. I love the way it fits. I don't know. I think I got a large, and it's just right on me. I got a large. It's right on me. Nice. I love this. Nice soft material. It's thick but soft. Oh, it's perfect for the winter. I've been wearing this all week. It's crazy. I'm wearing this all week. Where's the link for the donations to Cancer Society? So, great question, J. Rob. So, if you guys don't know, we're going to be, instead of a subscribe button, if you have a computer, this isn't on your phone. I can't even see it on my phone. Like if I put it on, if I'm on Twitch on my phone, there's no button. There's no button. Let me see my channel. See, there's no button for subscribe. There's no button for, so on your computer, there's always like a subscribe button right there. So on your computer, if you go to your computer right now and you go to twitch.tv/RaisFlaves, instead of a subscribe button, it'll actually say donate to charity. For the month of December, if you click on that button, it's going to donate to the American Cancer Society. So instead of subscriptions, I want you to click on that button on a computer, a PC, a Mac. It's going to say subscribe. It's going to say donate to charity. There's no subscribe button on the Raise Flaves channel on a computer for December. It's just going to say donate to charity. When you click on donate to charity, it's going to donate whatever amount you want to the American Cancer Society. Our goal is to reach $500. I put a very, very reasonable goal of trying to good idea, Ramon, of trying to get just $500. If as a community we can get $500 to a great cause, so that now I'm getting a reverb right here, to a great cause. You know, we've all had people who've dealt with cancer. My neighbor just had surgery because she had breast cancer, so she's a breast cancer survivor. We all know our friend Lexa is a survivor as well. My friend Tony passed away a couple of years ago from stomach cancer. Thank you, J. Rob. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. You know, just for the holidays, to do something good for a great cause. So many people have either passed away or have dealt with cancer. It's just a crazy thing. What I'm learning, thankfully, from Lexa and Painting Polish is that not only do these foundations help with a cure, but a lot of them help with like the bills and stuff like that. Part of the biggest problem with having a disease like cancer or dealing with an illness like that is the longevity, the time of the bills that you got to pay, the doctor's visits, the extra steps, they've got all these extra bills, and then being out of work sometimes. We've had employees at Young Nails who've had cancer. So a lot of people deal with cancer. My 16-year-old daughter is a leukemia survivor. There you go. H-Town Love's daughter, leukemia survivor. So if we can do just a little bit, just a little bit to alleviate some of the pain or find a cure possibly one day, then it's worth it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So there you go. So for the month of December, and I put the link there, twitch.tv/RaisFlaves. If you're on a computer, it'll say donate to charity. And the charity that I chose, again, the American Cancer Society is what we chose after talking to Painting Polish and Lexa. They helped me find the good one. Like there's so many out there. I was in the back of Twitch looking for an hour, like going through different ones, and I didn't know which one's which. So they helped me. So it's our community that chose the American Cancer Society and a good cause, good foundation, helping out cancer research and also all the different things that they do. You can go to AmericanCancerSociety.com and find out more information about them as well. And that's it. I gotta get going. It's already coming about 9 o'clock here, but I want to thank you guys for joining me. I had to use, like I said, my radio voice. I've been sick for like the whole November, so I said I don't want to waste this radio voice of mine. So I had to use this deep radio voice. Whenever I'm sick, I'm going to have the deep radio voice, and I'll be able to come on here and chat with you guys, stream with you guys, and hang out with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and I've got to get out of here. I think it was W2 Splinter that deserves credit, along with W2 Splinter. Was it W Splinter? Okay, cool. Yeah, we were chatting on Lexa's channel, Thank you, Aishan. Love sexy voice. We are taking all your request lines on the love line. KCRW 89.9. All the request lines, your love songs, right now on the Raised Flames Podcast Network. Yeah, I think it was. I was chatting on Lex's Discord with her and W2 Splinter and some of you girls trying to figure it out. I don't have any experience with it. I wanted to do something, but I didn't know who it was. Would you like to hear a song, Ramon? We could try. I'll try to play a song. It might be good practice. What song would you like to hear, Ramon? We could give it a shot. I'll probably mess it up. I might show my social security number here on the screen or something like that, but we could try. Let's see. All your requests here on the Raised Flames Podcast Network. The guest today was tacos. Tacos, how do you feel about being the best food in the world? Tacos, how do you feel about me eating you almost every day? Tacos de mañana. I barely have any voice left. Tacos de mañana. Tacos de mañana. Holy moly. Let me see something real quick. Holy moly. Whoa, this sounds like Raised Flames After Dark. The Raised Flames Network. Ladies, if you want to call in with your dating or relationships problems, please don't do that at this time because I'll mess it up. I will give you the wrong advice on the Raised Flames Podcast Network. I've got to try and figure out how to clean the house with my back out. It's slightly better today, but I still need help getting out of bed. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't like getting out of bed. I would like to just stay in bed all day. But I'm an early riser. I can't sleep. I stay up. I don't sleep much. It's not gonna happen. Crazy. Well, let's rate out. I'm gonna rate out DJ J online. He's playing some grocery songs. Believe it or not. His thing is like he plays grocery songs, songs that you hear in the grocery store or something like that. So that's what we're gonna rate out. DJ Grocery Man, DJ J online is who we're gonna rate out today. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me. Hopefully you have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me at Tacos de Mañana show with the Raised Flames Podcast Network. You guys have a great one.